You have workers who have been there working for 10, 15, 20, 30, 40 years and are still on contract. It is wrong. They must follow the law. The way forward is for the hotels and the employers to comply with the law and allow the workers to join a union of their choice and allow the collective bargaining process to work. In Antigua, if your workers are not a member of a union, there's a cess that you have to pay for each of those workers. So it is cheaper for you as the employer to make them go and join a union. Or in the case of the tourism industry in the Bahamas, where you must be a member of the union to even get employment. They wouldn't have had those strikes if those workers were unionized as Sir Alexander Bustamante had designed it.
This broadcast is brought to you in part by the One Love Bus Tour. The One Love Bus Tour, feel the pulse of Negril. One love, one bus, one adventure.
Good evening and welcome to Negril Times, your trusted source for news and updates from the heart of Jamaica's paradise. Tonight we turn our attention to a growing controversy in Jamaica's tourism sector. Collin Virgo, Assistant General Secretary of the Bustamante Industrial Trade Union and a Central Executive Member of the Jamaica Labour Party, is ramping up his criticism against mega-hotels accused of exploiting contract labour to deny workers their rights. Speaking at a civic ceremony honoring national hero Sir Alexander Bustamante, Virgo did not hold back as he called out hotels, particularly in Western Jamaica, for allegedly abusing contract work to deny employees their fundamental rights, including union representation.
And I'm very happy to hear that some of the management of Palladium is here. Because what happened MP and ministers over the past few months with a number of the hotels down at this side. If they did listen to and follow Sir Alexander Bustamante, they wouldn't have found themselves in that embarrassing situation. The law is very simple. It's not rigid, Minister Davis. It's not draconian, Minister Terrell. It's not clawing, MP Davis. All it says is that anybody in Jamaica who is working will have the right to be represented by a union of the choice. They wouldn't have had those strikes if those workers were unionized as Sir Alexander Bustamante had designed it. And the irony is, Deputy Mayor will bear me witness, the very same thing that caused it is something I come to this function and talk about every God Almighty year. We never had to wait until the chickens came home to roost. If those workers had been unionized, none of those strikes would have happened.
Virgo's comments come in the wake of industrial action last October, where workers at Royalton Grill and later Secrets, Breathless and Iberostar hotels protested for better wages and working conditions. The strikes led to the suspension of the general manager at Royalton Negril and rapid adjustments by the hotels to meet the workers' demands. But according to Virgo, the strikes could have been avoided if the hotels had treated their employees fairly and adhered to the collective bargaining process.
The workers were not asking for anything unreasonable. And the evidence is there because, see, after them strike, within 24 hours, you ended up giving them exactly what they were asking for. The Bustamante Industrial Trade Union, Sir Alexander Bustamante Union, represents the most unionized hotels in Jamaica. Which one of them you see striking? Which one of them you see ever have a strike in the last 20 years? See Miss Taylor sitting down, Brenda Taylor, former councillor sitting down behind MP Davis here. Stand up and let them see Miss Taylor for your short badge. Miss Taylor was a part of the team that unionized the first ever hotel unionized in Jamaica, Holiday Inn in Montego Bay, from 90s. I don't want to wear age.
Virgo has called on the Jamaican government to adopt legislative measures similar to those in Antigua and Barbados, which mandate union representatives for workers. He argued that hotel
Even though it is
employees should
already
not
there
fear
in the law, it's
unionization,
not
as
draconian
existing laws
in our
already
law.
apply to
It's
all
not
workers,
hard and
unionized or
fast in
not.
our law. It is not so strict to the extent as it is in, say, for example, Antigua. Where in Antigua, if your workers are not a member of a union, there's a cess that you have to pay for each of those workers. So it is cheaper for you as the employer to make them go and join a union. Or in the case of the tourism industry in the Bahamas, where you must be a member of the union to even get employment. The way forward is for the hotels and the employers to comply with the law and allow the workers to join a union of their choice and allow the collective bargaining process to work. If they allow another wave to start, in sports, you have a thing called a Spanish wave, right? Let me say it this way. If they allow another wave to start. Tourism in Jamaica used to be a cyclical business, that is true, but so did sugar, right? Sugar is definitely a cyclical business. You have one crop for the year, one reaping period, and you have a down period. Yet still, sugar has been able to figure it out. So what is it? The sugar people bright and the tourism people don't? No, it's not. Thanks to the work in particular of Ed Bartlett for most of the last almost 2 decades as tourism minister. You hardly have a half season in Jamaica again. I am involved in so many organizations. Plenty times during what used to traditionally be the half season, you're trying to book a hotel for a retreat or this or that. And the hotels are telling us, we can't take so much people from here, one group, we're full, hotel full, bookings full. So this argument about half season and what have you don't apply in the tourism industry anymore.
What are you suggesting the government does?
Let me finish answering. Right? Respectful. Right? So that argument doesn't hold water anymore. And the harsh reality is, the harsh fact is that I know all of us here who have contacts in the tourism industry know you have workers who have been there working for 10, 15, 20, 30, 40 years and are still on contract. It is wrong. They must follow the law. Steps are being taken in the right direction as far as I can see from the government side. However, it is the employers who need to stop obstructing, right? Using this contract work thing and other little nuances to continue obstructing, trying to go around the law. Because the law is already there. They must stop trying to go around the law and just allow the worker them to join a union. It's not costing the hotel anything. And as I keep on saying, and as you have heard me say at this function every year for years now, it must be simpler to negotiate with a handful of representatives of the workers than to try to negotiate with everybody. Had they just been following that common sense approach from day one, without it being draconianized into the law, as it has been done in, say, Antigua and Bahamas, that wave of strikes that we had the other day, that embarrassed the hotel industry locally and globally, wouldn't have happened. But the most important thing is, the important part is not politics, is not embarrassment, is not feelings. The most important thing is what is right, what is the correct thing to do. The workers are human beings and they must be treated with respect. Well, I can certainly speak for my union, the Bustamante Industrial Trade Union. As you heard me say in the presentation today, we have been representing hotels in this country for over 6 decades. We have never run a hotel out of business. We have never run any company out of business. Worse, a hotel. We don't cause strikes. We don't shut down places, because at the end of the day, it is also in our best interest to find solutions. That's what we are there for. All we are there for is to protect the worker, to get them, as Sir Alexander Bustamante said, a fair day's wage for a fair day's work. So the people who go to these places, they must do the work, but at the same time, you must pay them fairly. That's all we say. We're not trying to run anybody out of business. We're not trying to tell anybody how to run their business. The framework is already there in the law. Just allow the collective bargaining process to work. Everybody wins that way.
He also pointed out that Jamaica's low unemployment rate has empowered workers to demand better conditions.
If they don't follow the law, eventually, as I started happening now in the last couple of months, the workers are going to force their hand. One of the saving graces is that You know, one of the things that triggered this wave of industrial action over the last couple of months, the job numbers. For the first time since the 1980s, it is a workers' market more than the employers' market. So what has happened now is that because workers are not as desperate for a job now as they used to be one time, it's now the other way around. It's now the hotels, etc., desperate now to find good workers. The workers have started to realize that they have had the upper hand, and that's one of the things that gave them the courage to step out the other day. So what is going to happen? One of two things, right? Either the hotels fall in line willingly on their own and begin to just follow the law, or the workers are going to force them to.
Collin Virgo's passionate advocacy highlights ongoing tensions in Jamaica's tourism sector over contract work and workers' rights. As this story develops, the Negril Times will keep you updated on any changes in legislation or industry practices. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for more updates and have a great evening.
This broadcast is brought to you in part by the One Love Bus Tour. The One Love Bus Tour, feel the pulse of Negril. One love, one bus, one adventure.
Looking for the ultimate Jamaican culinary experience? Come to Miss Penny's Saturday Jerk Party. For just $25, savor a feast featuring Penny's special jerk chicken, jerk pork, jerk barracuda, and all the classic sides you love. This and every Saturday.
Each and everyone who would like to see jerk done come to Lighthouse Inn on a Saturday evening, and they can watch it and see how it's done. Maybe they'll learn something to take back home with them. So come on by, I'll show you.
Come at 5:30 p.m. to learn the secrets of traditional Jamaican jerk and enjoy dinner at 7 p.m. Miss Penny's Saturday Jerk Party, where flavor meets tradition. Don't miss it. Hey Negril, hungry for something fresh, flavorful, and right around the corner? Mariella's Pizzeria at Sunshine Village has got you covered. From classic pepperoni to veggie-packed delights and even cheesy calzones, there's something for everyone. Whether it's a quick lunch, family dinner, or a treat after work, Mariella brings a taste of Italy to your neighborhood. Stop by Mariella's at Sunshine Village on West End Road today. Delicious pizza, great prices, and made just for you. Visit Mariella's Pizzeria today at Sunshine Village Negril, open daily where every bite is a slice of happiness.